Welcome to the Hawks Nest, the home for all your Hawks and NBL news. I'm your host, Glenn Saville. Today we have all the news out of round 9, including the latest from the Hawks' clash with the Sydney Kings. Then on the panel, I'll be joined by Hawks Nest correspondent Asa Schuster and Nat Sullivan from andthefoul.net. Now, let's take a look at all the top stories from around the league. Wollongong is back in the winner's circle following their 73-69 win over arch-rivals the Sydney Kings on Saturday night. All eyes were on NBA recruit Sam Young, but it was Hawks import Rodney Clark who starred, scoring 27 points with 9 of 18 from the field. The Hawks fought back from an early deficit in the first quarter and managed to hold on down the stretch. After lighting up Melbourne the week before, Young was limited to just 16 points, whilst Clark was supported by Reece Martin and Kevin Tiggs, who scored 13 and 12 points respectively. Meanwhile, the fallout from Wollongong's round 7 win over the Cairns Taipans continued last week, with the league issuing Taipans forward Alex Loughton with a fine and breach notice following comments he made after the match. Loughton has apologised for the comments, saying they were in the heat of the moment, but the league's refs remained firmly in the spotlight after round 8, where this year's new rule interpretations went out the window. In Milestone news, CJ Bruton played his 500th NBL game against the Tigers on Sunday. Meanwhile, Breakers teammate Daryl Corletto surpassed 3,000 NBL points during New Zealand's 4-point loss to Perth on Friday. Adelaide has also celebrated milestones in recent weeks, with Luke Schenchner and Anthony Petrie both passing the 150 game mark. In injury news, Hawks big man Larry Davidson has returned from an ankle injury that has kept him out since round 6. Davidson has eased back into the rotation by coming off the bench, and whilst he only grabbed 4 rebounds, there was no doubt his presence was a lift for the Hawks, with his side winning the rebound count for the first time since round 1. Meanwhile, the Tigers' Tommy Greer was expected to line up for Melbourne on the weekend, but his return has been delayed a week. Now, let's have a look at the results from round 9 and the ladder standings so far. As we mentioned earlier, the Hawks scored a much-needed home win against the Kings over the weekend. The Hawks Nest was there and caught up with home and away star and NBL fanatic Dan Ewing, as well as grabbing some post-game interviews with players from both teams and Sydney coach Shane Heal. I'm here with home and away star Dan Ewing, and possibly the biggest Kings fan there is. Is that the case?
One of. I'm in enemy territory. Come down the Princess for a game. It's going to be a cracker. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
You're hanging out down here for the weekend. You've seen a lot of Hawks fans kicking around town. Are you rocking the Kings jersey around here? Are you game enough?
That's the thing. As much as I'm a Kings fan, I'm also about getting out of here alive and about respect. The Hawks have been really good to me down here. Good mates with Ty Demos. So it's going to be a cracker. I'm looking forward to it. And as you said, the community down here, everyone gets behind the Hawks, and it's so good to see.
You seem to know what you're talking about when it comes to basketball. Have you been a fan? Have you played through a juniors? Have you ever wanted to play in the NBL at some stage?
I've played with or against half the guys in the league. I used to play for Manly Ringer. But more than anything, mate, I like using my position on the television to try to help the game. The game it's one of the fastest growing sports in Australia. But we've got the best product too, which is, and so it's good to see. Shows like this, great organisations like Wollongong, the community got behind you guys and wouldn't let you go. And that's just fantastic. I love seeing that stuff.
There's been a few changes on the Kings roster. Who are you liking in the lineup so far?
Well, obviously, how could you not like a guy like Sam Young coming into the lineup? I really liked what Jesse Sanders brought to the team. I'm a point guard, and I'm a pass-first defensive kind of point guard too, so I shed a tear.
Yeah, we know you're a big Kings fan. The role you play in home and away is Heath Braxton. He seems a bit more blue collar and a bit more like a Hawks fan to me.
I did a lot of character research for Heathy down here, thanks to the Demos family. Big Ty Demos behind us.
That's perfect. He's perfect for
over
Heath.
there. You might see a little bit of Ty's walk in the way Heath walks too. He's a good man.
Mate, obviously off to a great start, but a little bit disappointed with a loss.
Yeah, very. Sort of threw it away, I thought. Yeah, wasn't very happy with the way we finished off, and gave up a lot of easy stuff.
You've had a few changes with the team. You've had Sam Young come into the lineup. What's it been like to have him injected into the team?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a good player. He's a good dude. we just got to get rolling with him.
What about your own game, mate? There's been a few changes in the Kings there, but you're finding a lot of minutes out there on the floor, playing some pretty good time out there on the court.
Yeah, just trying to play my role as best I can. We've got a lot of sort of guys who like to get up a lot of shots, so it's my job to clean up the scraps.
So you can get a couple of shots yourself, you know that.
Yeah, well, sometimes we're battling pretty hard, but I just take the opportunities when they're there and try and be aggressive. So.
Great win against the Kings, coming off 27 points. You look very comfortable out there tonight.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a better feel for the offense as the games go on. It was a great team effort. We won. It's a big rivalry. The guys told us about it, and it was good for it to get a win in front of our home crowd.
Defensively, you're keeping the Kings to 69 points. I know Gordy likes to change the D up a little bit. Does that keep you guessing a fair bit?
It keeps me guessing. I think it keeps Kevin guessing. So we're trying to get adjusted a little bit and understand it, but it's good because it keeps the other guys off balance.
Backing up again against the Kings next week. I guess the scouting reports will stay the same. What are you expecting up there in Sydney?
Definitely going to be another challenge. They're a great team. They're playing well together. We just got to be able to, execute, do the same thing we did here.
You got pretty huge calf muscles. Did you get it? Apparently you got a cork in there. You all right?
Yeah. I have no calf muscle, so that's probably why I got the cork. But it's just swollen. It'll be fine. I'll just ice it.
Got out to a great start, mate. Was it the one that got away?
Oh, we knew it was going to be tough. I mean, they always are. And I was worried all week. We were terrible at training this week. So
with 3 games coming up at home, getting some crowd support behind you, hoping the boys are going to respond to those ones?
Yeah, we need to. I mean, we'll get a big home crowd because people want to see Sam.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. That's next Saturday night. And then we've got New Zealand at home and Cairns at home. So again, 3 teams that we feel like we're capable of being able to beat. And if we did that, we'd go to a pretty good record and be eyeing off a top 2 spot.
Is it exciting that, I know AJ Ogilvy, he was a little bit quiet tonight, but it's exciting to have a big fella like that, as athletic as we have in our league, finishing on the rim. It must be good to have a guy there like that.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got some aspects to his game that we really want to be able to improve, but to have a 6'11" guy that can do the things he can do, it's we haven't had somebody like that probably since Matty Nielsen.
Yeah. Now, my hair colour's coming along, mate. You have been an inspiration. Thanks for hanging out on the Hawks Nest with Sav.
Mate, you've got a long way to go, mate, to be able to get that.
Welcome back to the show. Joining us on the panel, we have Hawks Nest correspondent Asa Schuster and from andthefoul.net, Nat Sullivan. Welcome to the show, boys. Big news, the Hawks get a win.
We're back.
Surprise faces right now? Okay, we're back.
I tipped the Kings by 3 in the preview, but yeah.
Is that right?
That was to be proven wrong.
Okay.
I want to be proven wrong with that.
Nat, what do you reckon about that game? What are your thoughts?
Pretty good. Great having Larry back. I think he only had a handful of rebounds, but obviously his presence was felt. Boxing out AJ and playing some decent D. Yeah, great.
Yeah, AJ was pretty quiet in that game. He had 7 points. But speaking of Larry, I hope he's all right because I think he got shot by a sniper at some point.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So for some reason, the Kings seem to get a pass out whenever they throw stuff or throw people around. I'm not sure what's going on there. You remember your mate Ben Madgen threw a chair last year.
My mate?
Yeah, your mate. But yeah, AJ shoving Larry after the play, after a supposed charge on Madgen, which didn't get called or didn't. And then, just throwing him to the ground. Maybe a lenient call there, getting an unsportsmanlike. Sometimes players get worse than that in the game.
What, you're saying get chucked out?
Maybe.
That would have been a little bit harsh, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He did chase him down, but I think Larry, he milked a little bit, right? And he got the unsportsmanlike.
I'm surprised he had the
Larry,
balls.
Larry is a good agitator.
Don't let that hair fool you.
Getting back to those guys, Rodney,
27 points.
He's playing well and mostly on-ball screens. The Kings just not having an answer. Like, really bamboozled by if he's going to drive off it, if he's going to defer or shoot right now, doing what he wants with them, basically.
The scary thing is maybe a week ago when I had a chat to him and he said that he still doesn't think he's got his shot yet. He still thinks he's struggling and he's, third in the league in scoring and he can still shoot above anyone, but yet he's like, I'm still not there yet. So we could very well see a 40, 50-point night for him this year, hopefully.
You reckon?
I reckon.
Oh, you're calling that one?
I'm calling it.
Yeah, he's definitely got that in him where he can hit 8, 9 threes, just go off. He takes tough threes that are close, that look like good shots. So he's definitely got the skills.
I think the ability that gives him that perimeter shot is his ability to take it to the big man. One time he took it in there, AJ Ogilvy pegged it. The next time he took it straight back at him on the right hand, made a little bit of a bump, got a nice little finish there. He doesn't mind taking it.
He's fearless. It's a great quality to have in a guard.
He is fearless. I saw a Instagram photo of his feeding some cockatoos on his belt.
He's fearless on the court.
He is fearless.
But it seems to be when they're on the road, Tyson Demos has definitely got him rattled on the road in hotel situations. He keeps pranking him. So he's actually
scaring him all the time.
He's actually, you can scare him off the court pretty easily. But yeah, once he gets on the court, he's solid. And the other thing we have to mention is your mate Kevin Tiggs with the throwdown.
Dunk.
About time, isn't it?
After you challenged him.
I want to tell him how many weeks has it been since he's been challenged.
I think
he's got one dunk.
I think he's 2 from 10 for dunk this year.
Wow.
It's probably the worst.
That could be the worst dunk
supposed to be
average.
high percentage. It's probably not that flash.
You used to do dunk bets, right?
Dunk bets.
Like,
Excuse me, did I? What?
You and Trig. Sorry.
I just wanted to make sure I got through
a
season with every season of my career getting a dunk, but I don't think I did in my last, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah. That's
your teammates couldn't help you out with a fast break?
The only way I was going to get one on a breakaway, wasn't it? But then now they've got to back up, so Kings on Saturday night up there at the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings, look, they seem to have problems without a point guard. They got plenty of weapons, but accessing them isn't really happening at the moment. AJ is not getting as many looks as he probably should. Sam Young he probably can turn it on whenever he wants, but that's probably not the best offense. And Carmouche didn't really play on the last game.
Well, he got to go and he hit a couple of shots there in the second half, but that foul trouble early really hurt him. So
probably let go of the wrong import there. Probably meant to let go Charles and keep Jesse, but I don't know. I guess
he was a good player. He was just tough to watch sometimes. He was there's something very awkward about the way that he played. But he was a great player. He got after it.
Yeah, he got a lot of you feel the stat sheet, but just not. He'd only get 10 or 12 points a game, but he'd get 6 rebounds, a few assists, a couple of blocks. Like, he's kind of like a Damian Martins type player, which exactly what they need. But I guess Charles back to back big point games kind of saved his butt.
And a big performance by Sam Young the week before in Melbourne, and then a little bit quieter in the Gong. 8 turnovers, 16 points.
Yeah,
rough night.
I'm thinking maybe
I'd be happy with 16 points personally.
I'm thinking maybe
no.
He's from the NBA. Perhaps he's not feeling playing in Wollongong. He's played in some sketchy places like Sacramento and Milwaukee. Maybe he's not really Utah. Maybe he does. He gets to Wollongong and he's like, because he didn't really. He was not assertive. Like, he was. In the other games, we saw him just attacking the hoop like a madman. This one, I guess, Timmy Conrad has stopped him. He just said no more baskets.
I'll sit back in a zone quite a lot, so maybe he struggled with that a little bit.
Yeah, and also not having a point guard there to direct traffic. So
he's a solid unit, though.
He is.
I've already seen on Twitter as well some Kings fans saying, maybe we should let go of him.
Jeez, that's a little bit harsh. I think he's going to have some pretty big games ahead of him.
Yeah, he'll just from his size and his strength, he'll have games where he will not be stopped. You don't see even in the Hawks game, you could tell he can affect the game just with his strength. Like, defending guys, he just kind of pushed them away with ease, and it doesn't look like a foul because it doesn't look like he's doing much, but he's actually like pushing people away from the basket. No one has that strength in the NBL. It's scary.
Not anymore. Now
yeah.
And other big news is Adelaide dropping 2 games on the weekend.
Struggled against Cairns. Second time this season they've kind of struggled against them. They kind of got away with it early in the season. I think was it Jason Cadee or someone got a buzzer beater or hit a shot within 9 seconds to beat for Adelaide to get up over Cairns. But yeah, they just seem to struggle against them. I'm not sure what it is because everyone else seems to breeze past Cairns.
And the ladder at the moment, and what we saw last season with teams breaking away a little bit.
That's the thing. Adelaide lost 2 games, but they're still sitting in second comfortably. Yeah. So they had that luxury of having a bad weekend. And Perth are just in their own stratosphere at the moment. They're loaded.
Well, it's all the way over there in Perth.
Yeah. Well, you look at the games being played there, it seems like a different game.
Amazing,
like, that is a different kind of NBL out there. Yeah. Like 10,000 people in a massive stadium.
It's unbelievable what they do with their crowds.
Well, on Friday night they had both the imports combined for they had 30 and 31 each, just from 2 imports, and you still got Sean Redditch there, and Matty Knight can light it up, or get 15, 20 points, and Jesse Wagstaff can get hot as well. They're just pretty much unstoppable, really.
So is Adelaide going to have to be the team at the moment to give them a crack or not? Who we can see?
They've got a good rivalry going back. They seem to play pretty well in Perth compared to other teams travelling west. So they've also got the depth. I think they can.
We've covered a few teams. We're going to move on to Townsville, sitting on 4 and 5. Are they overachieving a little bit, considering what pre-season predictions?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their two imports were semi-New Zealand NBL stars, and Josh Pace, he's a scorer, but he's shot.
He's a shotter. He hits shots. He's not a shooter. He's a shotter.
It looks like when you're right-handed and you shoot left-handed and you look retarded.
He could be playing with his offhand.
Yeah,
just to work on his game. It's possible.
But
Homicide or him shooting jump shots?
Oh, jeez.
The Homicide got a bit more room, I think, because everyone just stayed back and watched him. So yeah, he did the occasional open one. Let's give a shout out to Homicide. I'm sure he's watching at home in Brooklyn or Bronx or wherever he's at. Colorado.
He's hanging out. All right. Now, Hawks, big fans of the Hawks, the Pit Crew, Asa.
Yeah, the Pit Crew have got a charity event going on the 20th. They're going to shoot 3 throws for 24 hours.
3 throws or free throws? Which they're going to shoot
3 throws.
They're going to shoot 3 over 20.
Three throws. They're going to space out. They're going to. They've said for 24 hours from the 3-throw line, and this is for the Camp Quality and RSPCA to raise funds for them, and it's at the Snake Pit, running from 6 p.m. on the 20th to 6 p.m. on the 21st. So people are encouraged to go down there and check that out. Maybe be able to shoot some. Maybe you could go down there and help with some buckets.
Fire up some bricks. The jump shot's not looking too flash these days, but what a great cause by the guys, and hopefully everyone can get out and give it some support. That is the panel for this week. That's our show for this week. With the Hawks on the road until New Year's Eve, our next show won't be until 2014. This week, the Hawks travel to Sydney for a return bout against the Kings, so we hope to see plenty of fans make the trip to support our boys at the Kingdome. A bus and game day package is now available, $25 for kids, $35 for adults. For more information, call the Hawks HQ on 4229 7722 or email countmein@hawks.com.au. The Hawks' next home game is on New Year's Eve when they take on the Melbourne Tigers. In the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and it's never too late to join our Dream Team group. Check the show notes for details. On behalf of everyone at the show, have a Merry Christmas. I'm Glenn Saville, and you've been watching The Hawks Nest. We'll see you next time.